GM, and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news so you stay up to date in the world of Web3. I'm joined with BlockPro again. We normally do our Tuesday session, but it's Wednesday. We're hitting you midweek. Some call it hump day. I won't be so cringe and call it that, but I just did. But guys, we have a lot to get into today. Grab your coffees as well. It's 6 p.m. where I am, but I know a lot of you, it's maybe midday, maybe 11 a.m. for our European UK audience as well. I've got a little Nescafe Gold Creamer on the go.
Nice.
This will keep me up till 2 a.m, keep me on the chart.
God.
BlockPro, what coffee have you got, sir?
I'm on the double espressos all day.
All day as well. When is your cut-off time for coffee? Or does it depend on the charts?
Well, around like 10 in the evening-ish. So
That's quite late, yeah. That's DGen.
Some will say like a coffee snob, but it's just, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be having these dodgy ones in a can then. This is not too, but this is a fancy one for out here, mate.
It's always the issue, like especially when like the markets are booming and you want to stay up a little bit later. Like back in the day with previous cycles, it was just a lot of energy drinks, but no. I'm staying off that.
that martini guy can tell us all about that. He had kidney stones because of drinking 4 monsters a day, so he doesn't touch the things anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you're drinking in the chat, guys. We are going to talk some crypto. BlockPro has got some really key bits to go through today as well, and he's been killing it in the Discord. The Discord has been active as hell right now as well. We've seen so many people upgrade to premium, get onto those tuition courses as well with myself with BlockPro. It's absolutely booming right now, the Discord. Even though the rest of the market, crypto Twitter seems a little bit unsure, our Discord is absolutely popping right now, BlockPro, and I've seen a lot of attendance to your AMAs from Monday to Wednesday as well. How have they all been going?
Oh, it's just getting busy. I think that basically the word has come out that you don't need like mental price action every day to actually make it as a trader, and that is quite visible in my agenda at the moment. But it's going very well, and on top of that, that Martini guy is doing the trading challenge. That's also very interesting to see in the results of that. Absolutely mental statistics. But further, my students are absolutely smashing it. Lots of new people that basically say like, I'm just new to crypto or new to the world of trading, where to start, and making trading plan with those guys, making a lesson plan, and just probably give them like half a year, 6 months, 6 months to 12 months, and then hopefully they can go on their own and make some good returns. So it's going pretty well, sir.
And we've even seen some altcoins perform decently as well. We had Kairos, I think, went up to about 7 mil, 5 mil. It was called out. It was up there for a few days. Was easy to take profit on. Nomu, obviously, a lot of people got in on the pre-sale. That was at 1.5 mil, now sitting at around 10 mil. We'll have a little look at that later in today as well. So well done to anyone listening or the community that got involved there. But BlockPro, we can't forget as well, though. We talk about TMG doing the challenge. I remember a challenge of yours where you started at $10.
Yeah.
Will those challenges be coming back? I know it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. The challenge was actually quite fun to do. It was for starting with $10. I wanted to prove to people that you don't need a fuck ton of money to actually make it in trading. And it took me about 4 months to go from $100 to, and I cut it off at 12,600. And then I decided to just buy some altcoins. Well, of course, I wish I hadn't done that, because otherwise I would have had the money still in my pocket. But sometimes it's really fun to run a trading challenge just to challenge yourself. In this case, it was also combined with testing a strategy. And that strategy was actually based on just 1% risk per position. And lots of runners. It was mainly scalps. At first, if I look back at the trading diary, I see trades that were like, the first 10 were like 30 or 40 cents in profit sometimes. And if you then go towards, I pulled it off in, I believe there were 136 trades. And at that point, we're actually looking at runners that were a couple $1,000. And like, okay, well, point proven here. Onto something new. But yeah, I always advise it to people, especially if you trade on a very structured basis. It's like sometimes it's actually quite good to just push the limit a little bit of what you
Yeah.
can do. And then it is the case. Like I have one of my students that's currently doing 1,000 to 1,000,000 challenge, doing pretty well. I believe that's now already up 10x.
Ooh, lovely.
But it is a little bit about challenging yourself. So for me personally, I always aim for 1% profit a day on my trading capital. That's not really a challenge because it takes me one trade and I'm basically done for the day. And sometimes it's good to push the limits a little bit. I also can remember from back in the day that TMG did altcoin challenges with spot trading. Oh, that's it's freaking mental. But the time that goes into that research, it's a lot. You cannot push everything to the side and say, "Oh, let's do that."
We have spoken about bringing that back, Block Pro. We have spoken about perhaps a 1K to 10K altcoin challenge, but with that, it is very conditions based, isn't it? You have to wait for the right time. I think we get a good altcoin that we know is gonna go. We'll get behind that, and then that can kick us off and get the momentum going. So expect some altcoin videos coming soon. I know TMG is actually back in the UK right now. He's off to film some content as well. So do with that as you will, guys.
Very cool. Very cool.
But yeah, let's pull up. Let's have a look what we got on the screen here. So I didn't want to put the daily on here because it was red. So I put it in the weekly. We'll have a quick look at the weekly, then we'll have a look at the daily here. Zcash still tearing away, absolutely smashing it. Hex, where has this come about again? Bloomin' Hex. Richard Hart up in the news again. We got Jupiter here up 20% in the week, doing well. Obviously, Pump 32%, Virtuals, and Trump as well. And Ton, I think, from speaking to a few people, to a few key players in the Ton ecosystem, I think now Pavel has kind of regrouped with his team a little bit, and all the troubles from months ago are kind of behind them. I feel like there's a big push coming with the Telegram ecosystem and Ton in particular as well. Is Ton something you've had too much of a play with? The chart is quite boring, really.
I traded it last year quite a bit, but the shit thing is, like with Ton, it came on my radar quite early, and I was like, no, I want cheaper prices before I buy, and then it started
I would
running.
sideline as well.
And after that, I decided to trade it a little bit, but after that, it's still like I still have my spot orders on it. It's just still not hit. But that's where the the power of patience comes in, pretty much. Would
I be right in guessing it's around the $1 mark?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. That's probably where your orders are too, or you're switching at the moment. Let's put it on $1.
Damn, I'm gonna go a little bit higher now. Let's have a look on the daily. So Trump's actually been pumping today. We'll pull this up in the news a little bit later here as well. But mainly a sea of red. Cake down 3.2%. Solana, even with all the ETF news that we'll go through later as well. I think they had like $55 million in volume through their BSOL in the first day. Still, it was a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Let's have a quick look in the chat as well. Guys, if there's any tickers you want us to look through today or do some technical analysis, and drop them in the chat as well. Let's have a quick look. We've got Alsadir here. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. We got Gaza, GM, John as well. Good to see you, man. We got Wizard of Alt. Good.
That's an interesting comment, by the way. I need to think of a weird challenge to try. Mr. Wizard, what happened with the orange juice challenge there? I dare you, make an orange juice challenge.
So this is the comment from Wiz here. Yeah, I think I need to think of a weird challenge to try. So I've seen Wizard trading cotton, seen him trading orange juice. Yeah, what else is Wizard going to trade? I think Wizard, a challenge for you that we can set, that we want to see in the Discord, would be only trading stocks that begin with vowels. How about we do that?
That sounds like a good challenge. Huh? I will stay away from that.
Yeah. We got Ergy here. Ergy, 100. Sammy in the chat. Let's go. Bruce, always good to see you. Good day, my Aussie friend. Do we have any Kiwis in the chat? We've got a few Aussies, but we don't have the Kiwis. So big up Australia. Wisdavolt is saying robotics having a good day. Peak, Aoki, Robot, and Codec all doing well. Yes, this is off the back of that new robot you're seeing all over crypto Twitter. We'll pull that up as well so everyone can have a look, and some advancements there. Wisdavolt saying pays to follow themes. Yeah. We've also got Steve here saying howdy boys. But I think the main, a lot of people are talking about robots right now today, but the main news is, will we see a rate cut? Polymarkets thinks that a 25-point rate cut is like 99% likely. The other 1% being a 50 rate cut. So not having a rate cut is out of the question. A lot of people saying here. So the Fed is expected to cut rates by 25 points. Crypto traders are watching closely. A weaker dollar and easier policy could boost Bitcoin, but only if the Fed gives the right signal. So is this man right here going to give the signal? What do you think, Pro?
He probably will. I think what would be a big surprise is if it comes in on 50 BPS. That would be absolutely amazing, because that would actually create a little bit of a shock through the market for the upcoming week. Further, I'm it's every time that this comes up again, I will always say it is 25 is priced in, guys. So be careful, and it takes a while before that news actually moves through the industry. So everyone, of course, is expecting it, but you still need to have that rotation in capital before people can deploy. So even with the rate cut parts, you always need to look around you and think like, is the local painter going to buy some altcoins now? And that will be your signal, basically.
Yeah, very true.
So,
very true. So, even though a rate cut should boost Bitcoin, as it's already priced in, it may actually have the reverse effect here. Is kind of your analysis there. Back on Polymarkets here. It's got the Fed decision in October. This is quite a funny one, actually, that we need to mention. What will Powell say during October press conference? Will he say inflation more than 40 times? Will he say mandate more than 6 times? That one's quite high odds. Good afternoon, 98%. Possibility, 71%. And sorry, 70% there. Just some funny things that you can get involved with. We've got the Dutch parliamentary election as well. What's going on with the Dutch politics today?
This reminds me of basically the South Park episode between a giant douche and a third sandwich. That's what's going on.
Very funny. Right. We will go over to the newsletter quickly, guys. We will run through this, and then we're going to go over to TradingView with BlockPro, and we're going to go look at some technical analysis there, guys. As always, make sure to slap a like on today's video. If you're wanting to check some more things out while you're watching today, we have lots of links below. We've got BLOFIN, we got Kast. If you've got stable coins and you want to, go to the pub and spend, 10 USDC on a pint, use Kast Card. It's super easy. You can set it up for free on your phone, and you can tell all your mates that your profits from trading got them that pint. So go check it out, guys. And you get loads of points as well. I've already made like $1,000 from rewards from it. Go check it out. Can't speak highly enough about it. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Bitcoin ready for Upvember. I thought it was Moonvember. As October comes to an end this week, the market will naturally begin to look at what November may hold for Bitcoin and altcoins. So Bitcoin is at a point where it could tail off or break higher. The price is pressing resistance in and around the 116 region. So this was yesterday, guys. So we've actually dropped further down since then. And here saying the point of demand is down towards 108,000 in terms of the wider range is formed from here. Bitcoin could break above and open up the route towards 121, where supply awaits. This is the region where the aggressive sell-off occurred and will naturally provide immense resistance. There is also a CME gap down at 111K to take note of. Block Pro, have we closed at 111k? What's the lowest we've been since last night?
Don't think we have closed it. It's probably still open.
Yeah.
So I'm using the crypto chart on TradingView here, so it's not connected to any broker. I see here a low of 112,153. So no, it's still there.
Okay. Still open, yeah. We've got to talk about gold as well. Gold has taken a hammering over the last week after reaching a local top. It is currently down 11% with potential for further downside to come. The chart shows areas of interest for gold should its correction continue. There's no telling whether gold's historic rally is over or if it is simply cooling off before higher. Block Pro, you always keep an eye on gold, more so than Bitcoin, would you say?
They're both on my list.
Yeah.
So basically, I have in TradingView, I have a watch list called Block Pro Trades, and that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's gold, it's the S&P, it's the German DAX, and ZRO.
Yeah. I haven't actually checked the chart since yesterday with gold. Yesterday we were where are we 3898. What's the latest with gold, and do you think we see continuation of the rally?
Yeah, this is not over yet. I think so. If you look at the amount of capital that got pushed into the market, it is of course quite normal to see a little bit of a cool off. I think in a scenario with gold, like this will probably just be still the potential of actually retracing back to where we were towards like the 4,350-ish is still something that I at least keep in mind. What is important to know in the way in how I view gold, if I trade gold, I'm only there for a $3 or $5 move, and I'm out. Because normally, if you look at average true range indicators, like it's fun if you see like $100 moves every day on gold, but it's not normal. It's not standard. When it comes towards like the high time frame stuff, I try to stay away from that, because what do I use with gold is actually the 3-minute and the 5-minute to just scalp it. But again, if I look at again to today, it's like up $71, and you're talking about absolute trillions getting pushed in and taken out of that market every day at the moment. So it's an interesting one. So yeah.
Let's swing it over to TradingView. We'll talk about Solana a little bit later. Perhaps we'll talk about Solana on TradingView, and then we'll talk about a few projects on Solana and obviously the ETF as well. But let me just remove my screen, guys. We'll head over to Block Pros here. Yes. Let me just move us out of the way as well, so you can see everything.
Like so. Yeah, it's already an interesting one. So yesterday evening at a nice stream in the Crypto Saving Expert Discord, and as always, as soon as I close my screen and sit on the sofa, the price starts moving. So I checked like 3 hours later. I was like, that doesn't look that good. So, well, can happen. Now, of course, we're always looking for a reason, like why is something coming down? And some people take it very personal when a market is going down, because every time that a percentage happens in Bitcoin, down or up, the altcoins get absolutely trashed. And again, this is something where you need to get used to. If you cannot handle that, stick to spot. Just move your shit to spot and stay there. But there's no crying in the casino. And if you cannot handle the heat, stay out of the fucking kitchen. So it's basically it's are just very aggressive moves. Now, one of the things that I also have seen is that it is becoming more and more popular to actually look at the daily liquidations. And for me, it seems a little bit like not a whole lot of capital that goes on, but in the forms of crypto, then I see here in the past 24 hours, 141,923 traders were liquidated. Fucking learn risk management, idiots. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. or you lower your leverage, or you place a stop loss.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult. Further, I'm like enjoying the James. How is the guy called?
James Wynn.
The James Wynn guy with James Wynn opened the 40x short position and like literally an hour later, like bam, can liquidate it. I love it.
He gets baited into these positions, I swear.
Yeah, and the post the next day, I'm going to become a billionaire. Yeah, dude, add more margin to it. Just keep doing you. It's fine.
Yeah, I swear he's lost so much money now. It is like, where is this money coming from?
Yes.
I know he did well in Pepe, but it's going to go pop at some point, right?
Yeah. So I read here like $516 million in liquidation. So it's in the grand scheme, mostly if you compare to an asset like gold, where you're talking about trillions moving every day, it's still like it's not that much, but it's quite shocking still. So it's an interesting one. For today, quite a heavy news day, of course. So want to give some heads up for the guys that are trading crude oil. Inventories data coming out today, so be careful of that. Then, of course, we go into the evening towards the entire FOMC stuff, and probably the market will go absolutely bananas. Now, yesterday, with when I was doing the stream, it actually looked quite decent. It almost looked like we actually wanted to start gaining in price. So at the moment we're trading at $113,114. So we actually have reached a point of support here. That is at $112,251.14. You can also see there's quite a nice reaction to that point. So let me zoom in a little bit. That is over here. So from here, I actually expect that we probably will retest that and start moving up again. I think that if I look towards so this is what I basically would normally in normal circumstances would base my TA on. But now, today, we have the aspect of the FOMC. So I think it's a perfect excuse to go for a little bit towards more of the violent side. And same as in the CZ newsletter, we have just our demand zone here towards the downside. But we also have two very nice areas of liquidity also around that CME gap. I don't trade CME futures, so again I got a question about that yesterday. How do you approach a CME gap? A CME gap is only for people that are actually trading CME assets. If you are trading whatever you're trading and you see that there is a so-called CME gap, treat it like any other void, a void, an imbalance, an FVG, how you want to call it, it's all the same. So there should be an FVG there. But if I look on the 4 hour, there's like a little bit left here at 111,747. So that's then what catches my eye, where I then think like, why not just wick towards the downside, reach a touch point here at 100 and what is here the midline? Sorry for that. The midline is at $110,011.70. Think that should be enough to actually close that sucker, and from there actually move back up towards like the 115,500 range. What we need to gain, and this is again such a lovely structure in the market, is like we have here this high volume drop off, creates a very big imbalance. So again, void, gap, whatever you want to name it, it's just an eyesore in the chart that needs to get filled. So we want to get back towards that $120,000 level. Now, before we get there, we actually have here on the top side quite some nice highs next to each other. So probably fucked on of short liquidity up there. Now, if we look towards the level that we need to gain to actually start breaking that area before we get into a pocket of liquidity, so probably some resistance there before moving up, we actually need to gain $116,034 before you will get there. So if I would draw the scenario out from here, we can also look at some smaller time frame stuff in a bit, then I actually expect that, or we fuck around right here, come down, start gaining again, and then end up somewhere here. Now, how long this will take, I have no clue, but the price will go back there, 100%. but yeah, like I say, you do not know how long it's going to take. If the FOMC stuff is playing out quite well and all the big guys are aligned, then it can go quite fast. But I would be very aware of the high demand zone. So even this one we can also pull through towards the left side. So basically here, these lows is what you need to keep in mind. And for the simplicity of it, I would say note down somewhere $108,004, and the low of that range, so those two ranges, I will make it one in this case, is $104.323. So it's quite a big range, but again, and this is an issue what I encounter quite a bit, is if Bitcoin moves 1%, like you're talking already more about $1,000 move on 1%. So you need to get used to it a little bit, that the ranges become bigger, the numbers become bigger. So for me, it still looks all quite decent on a high time frame. Of course, I'm now being bullish, and a bearish scenario would basically mean a complete break off, because if we would look towards, let me change this one to green, then we have like an hooray yippee moon scenario. And then we also see here, and this is where the panic probably is going to kick in. If we break this low, like a full new candle open below the 112,141, that is where people probably will start to panic and say, oh, we're going back to 70K. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just not. Mr. James Wynn, if you're looking, join CSE. I can help you. It's okay.
he would be a handful in the Discord. James, we've got we give you a 3 months membership. So.
Probably just talking shit to everyone all day. But in that case, you actually are going to start breaking off. And here towards the downside is actually also a little bit of a market structure open. And for that, we can actually just very simply just invert the scale. So we have now Bitcoin upside down. Again, if you are having trouble with, for example, shorting a market, just invert the chart. And then your short will feel like a long, but you're actually shorting. But in that case,
to change your bias.
Yes. So in that case, we have like here 107,954. But if we look towards this pocket right here, then again, we are then actually in that demand zone. Then we can actually say that there is also towards the downside structure. But mainly because of how the stars are lining up at the moment, I think that basically starting pushing towards the highs might make more sense than to actually start ranging from here. Now, one of the difficult things at the moment is we are actually already running quite late into the year, and I know from experience that like the last 2 weeks of December are just crap. So it needs to start happening, and if it doesn't start happening basically before we run into December, then I would say focus on Q1, focus on Q2, and then it's probably where we are going to go full party mode. So for once, I'm bullish. Doesn't happen often. But also the daily, everything is looking quite healthy, quite nice. One of the more impressive things is actually, again, the monthly close. Let me show it like this. Like we still have 2 days. How is this going to end up? This monthly close at the moment, you know, there are a lot of drawings on the screen at the moment. But if we would look at this close and we actually go towards last year, December, what happened there, guys? Everyone was like, oh no, Boeing is over. And then it's the same freaking candle. So just sometimes it helps quite a lot to just look at some higher time frame stuff. What I see a lot on Twitter is based on a weekly chart where a lot of people say, yeah, we need to have this entire retracement to follow 2021. And I think that a lot of these people actually do not realize that the markets are not as in 2021. The world was a complete different place then. So to say this is going to break down towards this point here, well, for me, it's actually quite simple. If we would reach that 70k point, well, then I'm not going to say we're going back to like, oh, the target of like 200k is gone. No, then I would definitely say, oh, fuck you all, we're going to like 16.
Yeah.
Because there is just no logic there. It's just shouting. And it also reminds me a little bit like if I would take like one of my nephews, like 5-year-old kid, say, can you do some technical analysis? He probably would draw a line there.
Yeah. 70k.
So
69 420.
I wouldn't buy it whatsoever. So far looking quite well. On the 5 minutes, sorry, I want to go to the 15 minutes in that case. Just go over some quick levels, what's locally possible for today. Nice reaction here towards the lows. Again, this is not financial advice. What do we need to gain? Because this structure is, again, super interesting in general. We have here a nice break off of the price at $115,304.19. We have here a nice escape of the price at $112,566.99. Then we have here on the top side, we actually, let me double check, this one is already gone. So we have here a nice gain that could have been a potential entry. And then in the end, your setup is probably looking, or this is an option like so. And your other option is here towards the lows, like so. And what you then actually are doing is just retesting this entire structure. Again, no financial advice, but it was something that I spotted, and I probably will throw an order on it anyway. So front run that. Or try to liquidate me.
Yeah.
So
things win in the chat going right.
See here, Wizard, how many hopes and dreams has the monthly candle ruined? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. So that is all looking quite good. Then Ethereum. Fucking hell, Ethereum. It's just Ethereum is not my friend this year.
To be fair, has it been anyone's friend?
No, it's just not it. It's just not there. I just don't understand at all why this thing is not like trading above 6k at the moment. And it was something that I stated quite early in early 2024. This thing will go towards like the 6k mark.
Yeah.
And it's just getting, like, you see the amounts that getting bought on chain. It's literally like mental.
The funny thing was as well, 6k wasn't even a optimistic kind of figure either. No, that was in most people's minds, that was a realistic. You know, that was it's going to $6,000. You know, I have friends. I won't call them out. Max Carmichael Jack, who said that honestly believed that ETH was going to flip Bitcoin. And, you know, would put hand on heart. I probably made him put hand on heart because I thought it was stupid back then. But saying it now really, really is stupid. But, you know, this is an intelligent lad who does a lot of, crypto research, all of this, successful trader. And he fully believed that ETH was going to flip Bitcoin. Crazy. Should anyone who's got that opinion, you should get arrested.
Well, it's not over till it is over, sir.
Like in our lifetime anyway.
It's an interesting one. I personally wouldn't think that would be possible. It might be. I might go and do some research there, if it is actually possible. But yeah, you're talking basically about like mental prices from that point. I think one of the weird things, and this is just very visible in the charts on the daily, on the weekly, is just the amount of sell pressure every time. And if we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4 highs at the same range, the amount of liquidity here on the top side, but also sell pressure is just immense. Every time that we hit that range, it gets sold off in the millions. So if I look towards the daily structure, well, what do I see here is just, we need to regain 4,455. and that's from a market structure perspective. Now, again, this thing is being set up in such a way that it is actually has shown on the lower time frame quite some weakness time and time again, with actually the major structure all the way towards the downside, towards the $2,600 level. So you end up here in an option where people will say, oh, if the bull run is over, it's just, we go there. Yeah. But again, it's still like on the somewhat like the 4 hour, we can start to see again that, yeah, we do break. We have broken some highs. We have not really broken the lows here towards the downside. So for today, that it has come down a little bit. Like, don't panic, especially not if you're just chilling in spot. Just wait for the right moments to actually start pushing the sell buttons. So for Ethereum in the long term, there's actually quite an interesting structure on the 4 hour. So we have a range here at $4,700 level. There's also a range here at the 4,500, also visible on the daily. And then we have here another range at the 4,300. So I think that this thing has been set up by just mastermind in liquidations. I really think that because I see my liquidity ranges being like extremely close to each other, but there is actually normally, if you would look towards how your liquidity should work, is let's say we have just a support and a resistance, is you have your buy and your sell side liquidity on that support and resistance. This is something that if I then look towards my lovely Ethereum chart, then I actually see that there is a lovely imbalance starting from here that we can also take all the way back towards this structure there. So that's actually quite it's just a valid level. But then we have a support and a resistance that's actually empty. Okay. And that is where I actually start thinking, well, if we start again, then at first we need to walk through, we need to have a 4 hour open above 4,174. Then we can blast through this support and resistance line because it will not be, there is nothing here that will actually stop it. Means that we probably will encounter some resistance at 4,421. If we know and if we can manage to actually start gaining from that area, then it is just one giant party mode, basically all the way up towards like that 4,700 range. Because we need to take out this. Of course, we also need to take out all the little structures towards the downside, but they're not as important as this top structure over here. So I truly hope that will be basically the last bit of resistance going on. Because, yeah, like I say, time, in my opinion, is running out. I do not believe in a bull cycle that is going to carry on for 4 years. No. If we look, for example, like towards Bitcoin, and if we then can say like, oh yeah, maybe the bull run was a little bit late, but if we would measure the distance of when we started trending towards where we are now, we're talking about more than 1,000 days. How long this shit is already going on, and here you're not calling it a bull run. So basically, from the theory, a bull run is in price discovery of an asset. So if you then look towards the highs, well, the actual bull run started around the 70k mark. But if you look at how long this asset has already been trending, well, 1,040 days almost, you would think at some point,
maybe a 4 year cycle.
it needs to become time to actually start sending some crap.
What is your opinion? A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on 4 year cycles. I'm kind of in the boat of, we are in a very new early asset. Can you really go off of 4 year cycles? But what's your opinion, BlockPro?
I think, and this was also something that I explained in one of my sessions in one of the CZ streams, is since the ETFs has been released on Bitcoin, that was somewhere in April, actually the volatility of the chart has changed quite a bit. a lot of retailers say like, oh yeah, but BlackRock controls the market now, and well, believe me, it's not only BlackRock, but they have the biggest name. So I think that the future of Bitcoin will probably lie more towards how an S&P moves or how an index moves, instead of these enormous cycles. I think that the halving will have less and less and less effect in the future. The Bitcoin OGs will always go, oh, the halving, countdown clock, whoa, yeah. But I think that in the future, it probably will go step by step more towards potentially like, how do you say it, like 5 years of up and then 20 years of down, and then 5 years of up and 20 years of down. It's the same. Like if it is actually digital gold, it should work the same as gold. And there you're talking about 20-year cycles. So
yeah. I just thought we'd bring up the ETH compared to Bitcoin. So it's 4.66. Actually, it's you think the gap would be slightly wider. If we switch this over and we check Bitcoin to gold, let me just have a look. Maybe I have to type in the stocks. No, I haven't got it. No, it's not coming up. It should be coming up. Apologies. No, not coming up. All right, no worries. We'll go back to this on here.
All right, I was moving towards Solana.
Yes,
Solana.
perfect.
So, Solana, sir, you have some quite bullish news around that.
Yeah, so I can pull that actually on the screen quick. Let me just pull this over. We'll talk about it very briefly. It was a buy the rumor, sell the news. So Bitwise Solana ETF see $55 million on day one. Signs of altcoin ETF maturity. So if we go down a little bit lower here, the staking ETF BSOL raked in $55.4 million on the first trading day, the highest debut volume of any crypto ETF launched in 2025. The fund had already attracted $223 million in assets pre-launch, a strong sign of institutional appetite for staking-based crypto exposure. While BSOL beat analyst forecast, it still trailed the explosive launch volumes of spot Ether ETFs earlier this year. So that's impressive that it's actually outperforming Ethereum. And to see the difference in market caps between Ethereum and Solana, I think Solana will catch up. It says here, Wall Street's risk appetite is warming up to altcoins beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, but early data suggests Solana isn't ready to dethrone them yet. Yes, very true. If we go a little bit further down here as well, I wonder if it, not in this article, but there was also a link up. I'll pull it up while we're talking about the chart as well. But Western Union have now partnered with Solana as well. The largest remittance payments or international payments provider in the world. They have now partnered with Solana, so it makes a lot of sense.
Very cool, very cool. So you have still not pressed the sell button after buying it.
I tell you what, actually, I have a very nice. I have a very nice bag of stable coins that I am ready to. I'm either going to put in some orders, or I'm just gonna wait for the right moment to buy a nice amount of Solana to top up the bag. I haven't sold the mother load, but more will be added. I took some profit on some different altcoins, so I have a nice amount, and I have Solana in my targets. Maybe even get switched over soon, sir.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so I deleted my Solana chart for some reason, so I'm speed running the Solana TA at the moment.
I can while you do that, I can actually pull up the news from Solana.
Oh yes.
So here we go. So it's official. The world's largest money transfer business is building exclusively on Solana. So yeah, super excited. It makes a lot of sense. We're going to see more stable coins come over to Solana as well. Tron had the opportunity to take that throne. Currently, it does. A lot of the other than Ethereum, a lot of the stablecoin volumes go through Tron. But I think we're going to see that move more and more towards Solana. Makes a lot of sense. So Alex Scott here talking about Solana ecosystems events as well. Alex Scott is the lead at the UAE super team. Let's go have a little look further down. So this was the Western Union guy speaking at the event, the CEO, Devin McGranaham. I won't go into that because it won't play the volume. But one of the quotes here was saying, there are more transactions on Solana than all other blockchains combined. They're going large on it there. They even, I can't see the picture now, but they even changed the Solana logo to black and yellow today to go with the Western Union branding there as well. Breakpoint, if anyone is in the UAE, I will be heading over for the largest Solana event of the year over in December 11th to the 13th. Highly recommend going, even if you don't go to the main event. The main event is really good. Most crypto main events suck, apart from Zebu. Zebu and Breakpoint are the two actually enjoyable main events. Token this year was okay. It's a little bit corporate, a little bit boring. But with Solana events, the side events are really the most fun because you have all these projects, these NFT projects, these lending protocols, these exchanges. They throw these side events, and sometimes they have a lot of cash to burn. So they are literally, free bar, free steak dinner, and they've got singers and thing. And you can apply for these, go for free, network, meet really good people. So I cannot stress enough how good these events are. And you normally don't have to spend a penny of your own money. So go, especially if you're in the UAE or even if you're local. If you're only a 6-hour flight out, come over to Breakpoint. If you're a big Solana fan, I'll be there. Will we see Wizard there? Wizard is Will we see Wizard in the UAE?
He can take his giant beard with him and his wizard staff.
The funny thing is, he actually was in Dubai back in April for the last token event, and he did have his beard.
40-degree beard.
Yeah.
Hellish.
And if anyone's wondering why BlockPro doesn't go to the events, is because he lives in Antarctica and he's locked in just with the computer.
Basically, yeah. No, it's a funny one. I went to some events like when I started out with trading, but as a trader, it is really difficult to actually listen to. Like, I'm not out there to network with companies because like exchanges will find you anyway. And further, it is like not really looking for the latest and newest project. So as what I do see is that the traders that I know that go to these events just usually go just to have a day out of the office, basically.
Yeah.
That is where I am just always stuck in my trading dungeon, locked in printing money. Is what it is.
It's true, isn't it? If you're a trader, going to events, even going to a family member's birthday party can get in the way of trading. So, it's a little bit different if you're an altcoin investor or whatnot.
Yes. Like I think if you're mainly doing the investing side of especially the crypto industry, but it goes the same if let's say you're an investor with Swiss Bank in Luxembourg. Funny enough, they also hold events, and then what do? They talk about what potential investments will be coming up suitable for your portfolio, and of course, if you are a crypto investor, like, you will have the chance to speak to the devs and just the team that is actually there with their project. I do think that, or at least from what I've heard a lot, and also from my last event, that the last event where I were was mainly exchanges and not even the projects. That was where it's like, not really that interested in too much discounts on trading fees, but whatever. But for projects, it can be quite interesting. So yeah, I have here a speed run version of the Solana chart. Sorry, but I forgot to save it for some reason.
No worries.
Put off the chart. I've not mapped it out on the daily or on the weekly, so we're sticking it with the 4-hour. Now, one of the important parts to start with, there are some nice liquidity areas here. Let's start with a bearish scenario. Then that is out of the way because you can see uptrend. So if we head into, let's say, some fuckery tonight, you can actually expect a wick down towards like 189.73 before actually start gaining again. I truly believe that today is just a slow day, just to throw everyone off, basically. It's the same what I also noticed with yesterday. The ceasefire in Israel, Gaza, that part of the world got broken, and that probably resulted into the retracement. So yeah, there are always things in the world that can happen, of course. So bearish scenario is a complete 4-hour open below that. Let's round it up, $190. From that point on, we can expect a reaction into the demand zone. That is this part over here. It's roughly, so I expect a reaction towards like $180. So then you get something like this, work your way back up through the levels. If a big liquidation would occur, in that case, the levels to keep an eye out is $173.48 and $160.33. There is more, but like I said, I speed run only the important levels. Now,
maybe I set my my buy orders on Jupiter to 176. Was 173 or 176? I have to go back now.
Yeah, like it's always important, like to you always need to make sure that if you want to invest in something, that you just have those orders on the lows, because you never know when they get hit. And if you, let's say, massive liquidation happens and your order gets picked up in the way back up, then freaking amazing. So just set and forget, basically. A complete gain towards the upside needs to break $204.07. We probably will run into some resistance, not too much, at $208.97. And from there, I actually have a very nice support and a resistance line that is also on the backtest. So that's again, like, cannot say, oh, it's just, it will go there today, but yeah, it will go there at some point. So that's $218.06. Okay,
yeah, around the 220 mark.
Yeah, so in scenario, I'm actually expecting here a little bit of a resistance, start gaining one straight line towards that point. There, then there is more towards the upside, but like I said, it's still a little bit empty in the higher places. So we have actually multiple FEGs lining up at the same area with a volume node over here. So volume node, FEG, volume node, FEG, FEG, volume node. That is at $225, and after that there is a target visible of $241. And what I will do is I will finish this chart and post it in the Crypto Saving Expert Discord channel, that everyone can just look at the chart and hopefully make some decisions based on that or whatever.
Yeah, guys, you got to come join us. So we got the TMG 10K to $1 million challenge here. That's absolutely flying. He's also posting his other trades. We've got Block Pro's Traders Academy here. You'll see, lots of insights on Bitcoin, altcoin insights also, and the premium members obviously have the one-to-one coaching calls, guys. We do have a discount going at the moment. It's 35 off. That's only available for community and for premium. Being honest with you, I think this message, I won't click over him, but this message here, I think that's someone upgrading to premium as well. Along with perhaps one more. I think we're going to be at max capacity, but we do have more room for community. If you are looking to upgrade to premium, reach out to myself either in Discord or on Twitter, and we can discuss that, or in the emails as well. You can find that all on our website, guys. Block Pro, you are even going live later today.
Yes.
It's 11 p.m. for me. It's a late one, but that's I believe, is that 5 p.m. UTC?
Yeah, 5 p.m. UTC and this 6 UTC plus 1. So,
and that one's going to be around some altcoins today.
Yeah, we're going to look at some altcoins, or at least if the community has suggested altcoins to look at, and otherwise, I had this last week where, so again, like, if you see these events popping up in the Discord, it is not the case that it only is me looking at scanning through altcoins. Like, especially the Wednesday stream, get active in the stream, ask your questions. If it is about trading Bitcoin, if it is about trading oil or whatever. I don't
Orange
care.
juice.
Chart to chart. We can explain it all. And so last week it actually ended up in a 2.5 hour long live stream because of the market was just bottoming out at that point. And yeah, so it will be a fun one. So make sure to join in.
We got Wizard here saying I have a long list of shit tickets for you.
Yes, I never doubt Wizard to come up with some sketchy stickers, but they are the most interesting. So that's good.
I'm gonna set him that challenge now as well. I'm gonna set him. He can only trade stocks beginning or crypto. Beginning of hours.
Yes.
And then we do also have the TMG and myself are going on the live stream AMA tomorrow in the Discord, guys. So go check us out there. But yeah, thank you all for listening in. Block Pro, thanks for the audience. What's that?
Block Pro. I've been listening in here, and I have a question. Sure. You said Ethereum, you're kind of bearish on the ETH chart, and you're bullish on the Sol chart. I'm wondering, what do you think of the ETH Sol chart? Because about a year ago, ETH Sol was ETH was at the highs, and now I think we're probably like 40% off there. So I think it's maybe interesting to also have a quick look at that chart, just to know like if we should buy Sol or maybe we should buy some ETH.
Basically, if I would look from a chart perspective and what has the most potential in a faster gain, I would definitely say Solana compared to Ethereum. I think again, and this is something that I keep saying, Ethereum is being sold off every time that it hits a high, but the amount of accumulation from ridiculously big wallets is immense. So that is basically your slow grower there. If I would look towards the Solana, and again, like I do most of the stuff in the US dollar, of course, it's then where I would say we have had so many nice low levels, again, like fat ass compression. So a quick flip on Solana is in my opinion a higher possibility than on Ethereum. I think with Ethereum, the moment where people should have made the call was when we were back towards like that $1,400-$1,600 level. Now with Ethereum, it probably will move at some point again so fast that you will not have a chance to get in, but it will also get sold off quite fast to just crush the hopes and dreams again. I think that if we look towards the comparison between both, so Solana versus ETH, absolutely flying. Or at least looks like a lot healthier than the ETH chart in general. So yeah, well, without giving financial advice here,
I'm fully aligned with that.
I see Solana taking off earlier than Ethereum. Where the prices will go is like I've seen people calling for $1,000 Solana. For me, sadly enough, I see it as at some point I had the Fibonacci level somewhere towards like 340, 350. I think it can go way past that area. But I think if we can get already a regain towards the 300 and then actually reassess the entire chart based on the monthly and the weekly, that we probably can get up with some new numbers. The amount of projects just taking off on Solana are, in my opinion, way better than on Ethereum. So for the Solana brothers there, I'm more bullish on Solana than on Ethereum.
Oof, good to hear. That was Rick, by the way, guys. He's a Solana OG himself. You'll be seeing Rick on some streams very soon as well. Block Pro, thank you for your time today. Audience as well.
No worries.
Listening in. Make sure to turn channel notifications on so you do not miss us. We'll be doing the AMA with TMG tomorrow, and I'll be going live Friday. And make sure to join the Discord right now. Go over to the events, click interested on altcoin AMA, and listen into Block Pro a little bit later. Guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Let's go.
Take care. Bye-bye.